Good one today. Twitch, IG, YouTube, what it do? We're gonna wait for some folks to hop on here. I'm early today. What? Only 5 minutes late. Only 5 minutes late. But I'm on here. I'm tired. Ooh, I'm tired. But I'm on here. I had to do the morning show this morning for work. Yes, I'm on the radio. That's what I do. I was doing it full time and took a pay cut. Do it part time. So, hey, auntie. I was just talking to nobody because you're my first one. Talking about my morning. And I'm tired. Why my voice is raspy. I had to do the morning show this morning. So, yay. Had a good time doing that. What up, Curtis? Had a good time doing that. So, that's why if you see I ain't high, I'm tired. I took a little 30-minute nap, even though it was good. But yeah, waking up, and I'm not playing. You're not complaining or anything. So, what up, Joey Cakes? Let's get this party started. All right, is the single you the married you? You're probably like, what in the heck is Dee talking about? Is the single you, what up, Spicy? Is the single you the married you? And the reason why, what up, Curtis? And the reason why I'm saying this is because a marriage counselor she kind of breaks it down. Some of the stuff I'm like, okay, I agree with. And then some of the stuff I'm like, So let me look for this audio. Again, I apologize for me not being prepared. But, again, I had to take me a nap. So is the single you that married you? And hold on, here we go. Take a listen to the audio.
School that I have online where the single you is the married you. Right? So even when I'm single, I am looking the same as when I'm married. I'm talking the same as when I'm married. There's certain language I don't use. There's certain clothing that I don't put on, even when I'm single. But what women want to believe is the single them is different than the married them. That all of a sudden they're going to become modest and they're going to speak a different way and do a different thing. No, baby, I cook now, clean now. I take care of myself, take care of the people in my life. I dress modestly. I make sure that I'm clean in my speech, right? The single you is the married you.
So what you got to say about the women who be like
degenerate?
So
that's not something you're going to lay down overnight. I tell men this too. Can we be honest? Men who are hoes, men who are out here sleeping around and then think that a ring is going to keep them faithful. It isn't. That's your pattern. That's what you've been doing. So the chances of you continuing to do that is pretty high. Like, I really believe in the single us is the married us. So that's why I carry myself a certain way all the time, regardless of my relationship status. There are certain things I'm not going to do, whether I'm single or married. That's what I want our people to return to. And we used to be this way. And that's how Black women got husbands, is being modest and being feminine. And being, yes, I know how to make homemade biscuits. Degenerate.
All right. So did we hear what
she
she said? What up, baby Brock? Did we hear what she said? Does she have some good valid points? The single you is the married you. The single you is the married you. And forgive me because I have to run the clip back. I'm getting new folks so they can understand what we are talking about. Because when I said it to Mama earlier, she's like, well, what does that mean? So you have to hear the clips to understand what we're talking about today. Joey Cake said, we're the same. Our duties are expanded, though, to benefit the family and not just ourselves. Not Jiffy Biscuits. Is that all you heard, Super Pad? I'm not messing with you today. Take a listen.
School that I have online where the single you is the married you. Right? So even when I'm single, I am looking the same as when I'm married. I'm talking the same as when I'm married. There's certain language I don't use. There's certain clothing that I don't put on, even when I'm single. But what women want to believe is the single them is different than the married them. That all of a sudden they're going to become modest and they're going to speak a different way and do a different thing. No, baby, I cook now, clean now. I take care of myself, take care of the people in my life. I dress modestly. I make sure that I'm clean in my speech, right? The single you is the married you.
So what you got to say about the women who be like they're in the soft girl era, the villain girl era, and hot girl summer?
Life is about patterns, though. And what you've done in the past, degenerate,
I'm sorry.
That's not something you're going to lay down overnight. I tell men this too. Can we be honest? Men who are hoes, men who are out here sleeping around and then think that a ring is going to keep them faithful. It isn't. That's your pattern. That's what you've been doing. So the chances of you continuing to do that is pretty high. Like I really believe in the single us is the married us. So that's why I carry myself a certain way all the time. Regardless of my relationship status, there are certain things I'm not going to do, whether I'm single or married. That's what I want our people to return to. And we used to be this way. And that's how Black women got husbands, is being modest and being feminine.
All right. So you and Joey in agreement with what she's saying? The single you was the married you. And so basically, from what I'm gathering, right? From what I'm getting is, what up, T? She's saying basically, I guess if you want to be eventually one day married, then you should already be carrying and conducting yourself, I guess, as such. That's what I got from it. Let me know if I'm off. Hold on, let me go here. Auntie said, I agree with Joey Cakes. I was the same. Single, married, single. I do have the occasional potty mouth, but I am working on that. I think we all are, Auntie. Including your niece. What up, 1985? Is the single you the married you? Is the single you the married you? Joey Cake said, speaking for myself, marriage didn't change who I am. It just changed the things that I do. I will never compromise myself to appease others. But Joey, is that what you got from what she was saying? Because what I got from it was basically, if you want to be married eventually later on down the road, then you need to conduct yourself. Let's go back because we got some new folks on here. I apologize. I know this is long. I'm not going to play this whole clip again, but I want to play bits and pieces of it for the new folks so they can understand. Is the single you the married you? That is the question today, because a marriage counselor, she breaks it kind of down. So
the school that I have online where the single you is the married you, right? So even when I'm single, I am looking the same as when I'm married. I'm talking the same as when I'm married. There's certain language I don't use. There's certain clothing that I don't put on, even when I'm single. But what women want to believe is the single them is different than the married them. That all of a sudden they're going to become modest and they're going to speak a different way and do a different thing. No, baby, I cook now, clean now. I take care of myself, take care of the people in my life. I dress modestly. I make sure that I'm clean in my speech, right? The single you is the married you.
But what you got to say about the women who be like they're in that soft girl era, that villain girl era, that hot girl summer?
Life is about patterns, though. And what you've done in the past, there's a pretty strong chance that you're going to do it in the future. So that's what people don't realize, that when you practice being degenerate, I have a saying, degenerate, that's not something you're going to lay down overnight. I tell men this too. Can we be honest? Men who are hoes, men who are out here sleeping around and then think that a ring is going to keep them faithful. It isn't. That's your pattern. That's what you've been doing. So the chances of you continuing to do that is pretty high. Like I really believe in the single us is the married.
So what I get from it, because she gave an example for the guys too. Hey Tasha, Tara, we're talking about, is the single you the married you? And then I'll explain. But what I gathered from what she was saying is, like, I guess if the man, is a hoe, and then he thinks he's going to enter into a marriage thinking, because now he has put a ring on his finger, he's no longer going to continue to be a hoe, then she said, I guess that's not true necessarily. I wish I knew this doctor so we could get her on here. I have so many questions. Baby Barack said, I agree. We are who we are. Being married doesn't change the true character of a person. By the time you're married, you've already met their representative. That's facts. That is facts. Curtis said, I think it's all about self-respect. What I mean is you can't turn a garden tool into a housewife if you won't want to sleep around and then get married. I mean, kind of got that with what she was saying, got that from that. But yeah, from what I got from it again was, if I guess you want to be married, then you should be already doing the things as such. Joey Cake said, you become a stranger to someone that thought they knew you. Superpad said, that's true. My ex-wife didn't cook while we was dating. And a surprise, surprise, it didn't change. We got married. Well, that's your fault then, Superpad. You married somebody that didn't cook. Wait, so did she start off cooking? Or are you saying she didn't start off cooking? And then y'all got married and then she didn't want to cook no more. Joey Cake said, you can't turn a hoe into a husband either. That's your choice, thinking that you can change people. You can't turn a gay man straight and they can still reproduce. Tasha, don't you start today, Tasha. And that's facts. For my new folks on here, we're talking about the single you. Is the single you the married you? Because a marriage counselor, she kind of breaks it down. And again, we don't have this lady on here, so I don't really know what her true meaning is. But what I gather from it, and for my new folks, I want you to take a hard listen to this video. What I get from the video is basically she's saying, if you do have plans, men or women, on getting married, you should already, I guess, be living, if you're single, you know, you should be already doing the things that align with that, if that makes sense. But let me play the clip because, again, I want y'all to get a better understanding, and then we'll read some more comments.
In the school that I have online, where the single you is the married you, right? So even when I'm single, I am looking the same as when I'm married. I'm talking the same as when I'm married. There's certain language I don't use. There's certain clothing that I don't put on, even when I'm single. But what women want to believe is the single them is different than the married them. That all of a sudden, they're going to become modest and they're going to speak a different way and do a different thing. No, baby, I cook now, clean now. I take care of myself, I take care of the people in my life. I dress modestly. I make sure that I'm clean in my speech, right? The single you is the married you.
So what you got to say about the women who be like they're in the soft girl era, the villain girl era, and hot girl summer?
Life is about patterns, though. And what you've done in the past, there's a pretty strong chance that you're going to do it in the future. So that's what people don't realize, that when you practice being degenerate, that's not something you're going to lay down overnight. I tell men this too. Can we be honest? Men who are hoes, men who are out here sleeping around and then think that a ring is going to keep them faithful. It isn't. That's your pattern. That's what you've been doing. So the chances of you continuing to do that is pretty high. Like, I really believe in the single us is the married us.
All right, so it's the single you, the married you. And Mama, I'll replay the clip in a second. But she said something. I see you, Super Pat, because you said she's spitting facts. And then I'm going to read your comment, Curtis, in 1985. She said something because I'm not going to hold you. I did think that, you know, single Didi is different than, you know, relationship Didi. Because single Didi is solely focused on herself. Relationship Didi is focused on, you know, my partner. But trust and believe, I was cooking and cleaning and doing those things, though, when I was single. So, but single Didi don't act like relationship Didi, if that makes sense. Curtis said, you must have something in common and want the same thing out of life. 1985 said, I think it's stages to you. Once I was truly ready to be in a relationship, the way I carried myself when I was single changed. But I also think it's different for men and women. What do you mean by that? Like, what changed? But that's what I'm saying. I'm with you on that, because I think, again, single Didi is different than a relationship Didi. So I don't know if I 100% agree with all of what she's saying. Tara said, I was once for the streets. I've changed my way. Sorry, you know what? Not today. I would have been supposed for you. 1985 said, wanting to maintain the single you when in a relationship is selfish. With a relationship comes change, sacrifice, purpose, especially when kids are involved. Right, that's what I'm saying. Because single Didi was all about Didi. You know, relationship Didi is, you know, I'm my boyfriend. I got bae to think about. So Curtis said, it's called being a responsible adult who should know right from wrong. Okay, Tasha said, I'm different when I'm single versus a relationship, but I'm not a hoe. Is that the doctor only angle? If promiscuity while single, that's the same while married, because that's not the case with a lot of us. I know what you was trying to say, Tasha. I just the word. It ain't coming off the tongue today. Anyway, can love and respect make a can love and respect is that a question? Can love and respect make a person change, or is that a statement? Can love and respect make a person change? Mama said, I think she's talking about your morals. If you're a good person single, that you won't change. If you're a whole whore single, you're gonna be a whore married. That part I got though. That part I did understand. Like, no disrespect, love me some FA. Like, you know how FA says he has his coming to Jesus, and I wish he was on here. You know how he says he's, trying to be a better person. You know, but he's engaged, and he used to be for the streets. He used to be a future, but now he's about to get married. That's why I'm worried about FA, because like she said, a ring ain't gonna change the fact if you want to be out here whoring. You know what I'm saying? So, I wish he was on here so he could hear this, because I know he probably would disagree. Joey Cake said, but Didi, that's called growth. Not necessarily because you're in a relationship. I make my bed in my 50s because I like to come home to a made bed. I didn't care in my 20s. Okay. I mean, I see where you're going with it. It is called growth. But it's just the part for me where she's saying I guess the single you should be the married you. That's what's throwing me. Because again, when I'm single, I'm not the same person. Hey Bianca, what's good? We're talking about the single you, the married you. All right, I want to run this back. I apologize, but I got to run it back because I got some new folks that came in on the tail end of what she was talking about. So I want them to hear this from the very tippity top. So here we go.
In the school that I have online, where the single you is the married you, right? So even when I'm single, I am looking the same as when I'm married. I'm talking the same as when I'm married. There's certain language I don't use. There's certain clothing that I don't put on, even when I'm single. But what women want to believe is the single them is different than the married them. That all of a sudden they're going to become modest and they're going to speak a different way and do a different thing. No, baby, I cook now, clean now. I take care of myself, take care of the people in my life. I dress modestly. I make sure that I'm clean in my speech, right? The single you is the married you.
But what you got to say about the women who be like they're in the soft girl era, the villain girl era, and hot girl summer?
Life is about patterns, though. And there's a pretty strong chance that you're going to do it in the future. So that's what people don't realize, that when you practice, I have a saying.
All right, so Rashad, today we're talking about, is the single you the married you? Is the single you... Okay, well, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to play for the top because I need Rashad to hear this marriage counselor. Well, a marriage counselor says the single you is the married you. So take a listen.
But
again,
I have online where the single you is the married you, right? So even when I'm single, I am looking the same as when I'm married. I'm talking the same as when I'm married. There's certain language I don't use. There's certain clothing that I don't put on, even when I'm single. But what women want to believe is the single them is different than the married them. That all of a sudden they're going to become modest and they're going to speak a different way and do a different thing. No, baby, I cook now, clean now. I take care of myself, take care of the people in my life. I dress modestly. I make sure that I'm clean in my speech, right? The single you is the married you.
But what you got to say about the women who be like they're in the soft girl era, the villain girl era, and hot girl summer?
Life is about patterns, though. And what you've done in the past, there's a pretty strong chance that you're going to do it in the future. So that's what people don't realize, that when you practice being I have a degenerate, that's not something you're going to lay down overnight. I tell men this too. Can we be honest? Men who are hoes, men who are out here sleeping around and then think that a ring is going to faithful. It isn't. That's your pattern. That's what you've been doing. So the chances of you continuing to do that is pretty high. Like I really believe in the single us is the married us. So that.
All right, Rashad, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
So she is I think she's making a different type of point.
Okay.
Um,
Because we all
what
trying to figure it out.
what she is actually saying is she is speaking for herself. She is saying that, first of all, sounds like she's single. So the fact that you have a single woman being a marriage counselor is completely ridiculous. But
I guess that was what 1985 was saying yesterday.
I mean, so secondly, um, what she is saying is that she is conducting herself as a wife with wife habits right now.
Yes.
He is attempting to become that person before it's time for her to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so her message should be not your single person is the same as the married person. That's not true in every case. It's not true in many cases. Her point should be you should strive to be every day the person that you want to become tomorrow. That's the message that she's making. She just said, all of these chicks out here, you want to, be a hoe right now and all this other stuff. Because you're a hoe today doesn't mean that you're going to be a hoe tomorrow. But there will be a transition period. And the point that she's making is that it would be an easier transition if you started preparing yourself today for who you want to be tomorrow. So, two different messages.
Okay. I mean, that's what I kind of got from it. I was trying to, I'm getting like, but I'm like you, because the single Didi, two different people in the relationship Didi.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. So, Tasha said, and I don't treat a boyfriend like a husband. If we are dating, it's just that, but you haven't earned what I do for a husband. They say these men like husbands when you dating them. um, want to take another shot?
Whoever that was that just made that statement, that's one of the issues and one of the challenges, right? When she's talking about the boyfriend hasn't earned this or earned that. The thing about it is, you should not be looking for somebody to necessarily earn a part of you as much as you should just put in the appropriate amount of energy that particular relationship calls for. It would make more sense to say, I am not acting as a wife when I don't have a ring on my finger. That's a different statement than saying, yeah, if I just got a boyfriend, he got to earn white privileges. That's, once again, that's that adversarial stuff, right? If you look at it in that way, that's more combative. And so that's just one of the challenges that we face. Everything is just, once again, everything is competition between men and women. Men are saying, hey, she needs to earn the right for me to be paying all her bills, and women are saying, well, he needs to earn the right to have this sex. And whenever you have people that are having those conversations, it normally rarely turns out in a good position.
Yeah. Conversations that we keep having, right? Right. Mama said God can change the way they think. Isa Pope 49 said, my single me did and done whatever I wanted. But once I decided to settle down, I decided to give up all truth and loyalty to the mother women, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I'm just curious. Clean want to come on. I got you. Tasha said, when I'm single, it's all about Tasha. Tara said that part. Curtis said, this means you're not ready. My first marriage, my mother told me I wasn't ready. And now in my second marriage, I took everything I learned into my second marriage, and I could say she is my best friend. That's so sweet. Mama said, I agree. I don't change for a relationship. Always the same regardless. Joey Cake said, we all must make concessions if we want successful relationships. I went to see Dreamgirls last week. In exchange, she's coming to a Bills game with me. Either of us. See, that's compromise. That's love right there. Is it love? Joey Cake said to you, Mama Right, love me alone. Isa Pope said somebody need to take her license. In 1985 said, if you're not willing to grow and change for a relationship, the only relationship that will ever work out is the one with yourself. I think that's killer for most unions. What up, Chev? Super Pat Facts said, facts, Rashad. Mama said, I think she's saying she is that person already and won't have to change her behavior when she's married. And Curtis said, it should be 50-50, not yours, mine. It's ours. And if you don't believe in that, it will never, ever work. All right. All good stuff right there. Clean, you popped on here because clearly you guys have questions off your chest. How do you feel about this? And what this woman said about your single self is your married self.
Yo, who said the you gotta earn it line or whatever?
That was Tasha.
Yo, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
That was Tasha.
But yeah, but you got to remember that's also. I feel so bad, but I'm already halfway there now. That's also the
But
dude. I mean,
I could say something back, but I don't want no competition today, okay? So we're not going to do that because y'all like to ask us what we bring into the table. So, I mean.
Yo, but this is the thing you gotta
But you got to
understand.
remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said that both parties are wrong when they do that.
Yeah, you did. Rashad, 100%. Because, yeah. But, yeah, I just want to put it out there. But I'm not trying to make this into no competition thing. I'm just saying that. But 1985, go ahead.
No, I mean, that's the thing. It's like when you don't want to change or grow or compromise, how do you expect it to work with another person? Like, for instance, a man is going to change. I mean, from a traditional sense, if you're a provider, my life changes because now I got a whole nother human to take care of. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I gotta change. I gotta change because if I'm used to only doing for myself, buying every sneaker that come out, taking every trip, doing what I want to do for myself, and then now I'm in a relationship where my money is now split to maintain the household, that's a major change to make. If I wasn't willing to make that change, how would I expect something to work out? You know, and it's for somebody saying like earn, that's the thing. It's like when you coming into a relationship, especially from the woman's standpoint, there's a benefit to that. You know, to go from having to scratch and grind and take care of yourself to now having somebody to protect and provide, that's a privilege. So when you talking about earning, it's like, yo, unless you can change and adapt to be a better woman in the relationship, you're getting more out of the relationship than I am.
Oh,
Because
boy.
essentially, I'm taking on a dependent, and you just want to get taken care of and still do whatever you was doing before we was
You do
together.
know 1985, that is not every situation. You do
Well,
that there are some men out here who are leeching off women as well. You do know that, right? Right.
no, and that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
The same reverse. Like you in these relationships, it's just like a team sport. Like our team don't need 2 point guards. You know what I'm saying? If we already got a point guard, you gotta play center. You gotta learn how to play center, or you gotta learn how to play small forward. You know, but if you want to keep being whatever you was being before the relationship, what are you looking for? Why not just stay dolo? You know what I'm saying? Why not stay to yourself and do your own thing, come and go as you please, you know, do whatever you was doing. But if you coming into a relationship and you have things that are required to make you happy, then you gotta do the same for the other person. That coming into the relationship that with that mindset already makes it lopsided. You know what I'm saying?
All right, because okay. We got some comments. Bianca on Twitch, she said, it's not a costume, baby. It's a jacket. You just can't see the whole thing. But thank you for watching Twitch. Hold on. Let me go here. Curtis said, someone who is this who wants to hop on. Oh, come on, Tasha. Curtis said someone hurt the doctor and she is scorned. Okay, Tasha, you declined. I was trying to let you on. I'm not sure if you were trying to get on. Mama said men say it, but when a woman says it, it's a problem. Joey Cake said change is a strong word. It should be more of a willingness to compromise. Changing for someone else can be dangerous in the long run. Be with those that vibe with you and you will grow naturally. Exactly, Mom. And Mama said to you, 1985, why do you assume a woman can't provide for herself? Stop with the BS. The only benefit. And Super Pat said, preach, 1985. And Curtis said, that's why I said 50-50.
Okay, all right. So before we move forward, your mom talking about all of this. Whenever a woman says it, then it's a problem. But if a man says it, then you don't have an issue. And then you got Tasha in the amen section. So
do it.
So here's the issue, right? And this is how you know that it's hard for women to get past. One of the reasons why you know that it's hard for them to get past trauma, because I did not complete my statement without saying the exact same thing about men. I said the exact same thing. I said Tasha was wrong for what she said, but then I also put it into perspective when I said men do the same thing and they're wrong as well. So it's wrong when men do it. It's wrong when women do it. But your mama didn't hear none of that.
Leave my mama alone.
All she wanted to do was just jump back to, well, see, whenever this and whatever that, you ain't even listening. And Tasha just wants somebody to just be on her side. And so, look, I understand y'all have been hurt, but you still have to actively listen. Because when I talk, I try to ensure that I am giving perspective on all ends. I wasn't talking about you. I was the one that said it. You know what? Now I'm just confused. I don't know what now your mom just confused.
I think she was more talking to 1985 when she said her comment about why do you assume women can't provide for themselves?
No, it was before that. It was before that.
Hold on, let me go back.
Her statement.
Men say it, but when a woman says it does. It's a problem. I think when I was saying, like, you know, men ask all the time, what do women bring to the table? But we're not gonna go there today because, again, I'm not trying to make this into
let me just shut up then.
We're not trying to make this into a competition thing, but getting back to the good doctor. Okay, Tasha's on here. Hey, Tasha.
I ain't wrong.
Okay, then defend yourself, girl. Stand on business. Stand on business, Tasha.
But no, I think it may have came off the wrong way. But you know, when you get to the point where you say, okay, yeah, we're in a relationship, then I do agree with you, Rashad. But every you know, every encounter doesn't lead to a relationship, and that's what I'm talking about. Every time, you know, a man approaches me and I decide to give him a chance, or vice versa, I take interest in a man and he gives me a chance. Well, you know, you have to watch for the red flags. You got to make sure they on your level, not beneath, you know, not, I'm not going to say beneath you, but they're not one of these crabs in a bucket that's looking to pull you down or into your life and just throw a bowling ball through everything that you done built up. So, you know, when you get through all of that smoke and you get to the point of relationship, then yeah, it's, of course, you've already earned it. We've gotten to that point where we should have the mutual love, respect, trust. You know me well enough, or should know me well enough, and I should know you well enough to know exactly what to expect and what not to expect. And that's what I meant. I didn't mean, like, you know, you have to earn it up to that point.
Okay, well, I'm only coming from perspective of relationships, and you didn't specifically say not being in a relationship, so that was my assumption. But okay, all right, fair enough. Look, I digress. I digress. I was only going off of the information that I had.
So now, do you feel better about what she said? Earned, or you still don't like the statement?
I still don't like it because that's a trigger word. Earned is a trigger word.
I did
Just
not know
like
trigger
Yep.
word. That's a trigger word for y'all.
it's a
Hell
trigger word.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
just like 50-50 for y'all is a trigger word.
No, what you bring it?
Trigger
That's
word?
why I said that example. Yeah, don't ask me what I'm bringing to the table.
I mean, that's once again, we all have trigger words and trigger statements, right? And if we don't communicate with each other, we'll never know what they are. So, Tasha, as you were communicating, my job was to attempt to educate you on that particular word, earned. Bringing that up, it sounds, it just leaves a bad taste in the mouth of men, and then it closes the mindset of what you may be potentially speaking to. Like I said, because maybe you put it in in a context that was making reference to not being in a relationship, but because I heard earned, then me
Everything.
listening to all of it, I wasn't able to his word. I mean, I wasn't able to listen to all of it anymore. So it's just
I
as,
didn't
as
know
we
earned was a trigger word for men because it's a word that I use to myself when I am like the guy I'm seeing now. I had a lot of insecurities of, oh my goodness, and I gotta make sure I'm on point. This is, a professional, successful. He's very secure. He's a good man. I want to make sure I earn his trust and his love if we're gonna take it there. And so I guess, like you said, depending on the context, it
well, I mean, but
could or
once
could
again,
be a trigger word because it's a part of my vocabulary, but not in a way to tear someone down or make a man feel inferior.
well, I mean, I wouldn't even put it that way. It's just when you're talking about relationships, um,
That's
I think that type of language you use for the world, right? It's like, you have to earn your promotion, you have to earn respect, you have to, earn this and earn that, and it's just it's a harsh word, right? It's not a word that yields um that yields the type of demeanor that you would tie to love, right? It's like you're supposed to earn my love. Well, it's just like, okay, I hear it, but at the end of the day, when you put it like that, it's like if I'm not aware of how you want to be loved and I'm still trying to figure it out, your interpretation might be, well, I'm not earning your love because you ain't loving me the right way. And then it's just like that's once again, that's the whole adversarial thing. So, it's just some words they just have a connotation that don't, I guess, function well within a relationship confined. And that's just one of the words, right? And that's just my thing. And let's be honest, I ain't got no degree in
no,
all of this stuff. These are just
because these men are on here. It's a Pope 49 said, hell yeah. Cake said, absolutely a trigger word. It's a Pope said 49. I agree, my brother. Uh, maybe you should gain his trust. Um, Mom
game.
said to you, but Tasha, still don't change who you are, no matter the situation. But
See
it,
that, Mama, just go sit down. Mama, just go sit down. We trying to come to some compromise, and your ass just jumping right now, girl. You be you. Don't worry about what he said. God gonna see you through.
my
All that
Yo.
no.
Don't
Mama,
worry
we
now, Mama
Mama,
got my
we
back.
Mama, we love you, but sit your behind down somewhere.
that's God. Joey Cake said that trauma response is more like you have to give 100 in order to earn my 10. Yeah, okay. Curtis said you treat people the way you want to be treated. And Mama said, why does love have to be earned? And Chev said, LOL on moms. Yeah, not too much on Mama Rashad. But
No, like I said, she's
Mama
look.
said, God, why does love have to be earned? Or why? The question is, why does
She,
love have to be earned?
she's not talking to me because I just said. See, once again, you not listening.
Well,
No,
she not
unless she wasn't talking to me. Maybe she wasn't talking to me.
asking Tasha. Tasha, why does love
Maybe
have to
she was
be earned?
asking Tasha.
Huh?
Why does love have to be earned? Who said that? Who said that?
Yeah, who you talking to, Mama?
Yeah,
Somebody me
who
that.
said that love had to be earned, Mama? Baby Barack said, "Mama be on that my way or the highway."
Right.
uh,
No, that's not true.
I
That
know
is
why
not
love.
true.
I know why love need to be earned. I know why people feel like that. I know the answer to that question,
good.
and the answer to that question is previous experiences.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
why. Because the first time you was in love, you just fell in love. It was a vibe. It was a thing, and then after all this guy and this experience and that thing, now you got that mentality of you got to earn it because I done been through da da da, and that's why I mentioned before like I don't know a week or so ago when I was talking about other cultures and how their success rate with marriage is higher. The way we do it here in the West, where we use our 20s to just smash and fuck and travel and get this traumatic experience and that sexual partner and that thing, I don't think we were meant to do that.
You got a phone call. Your phone.
So let me elaborate on what you said. And I'm y'all gotta forgive me. I'm about to do a 85 and a half a real quick.
Oh Lord!
Here's the deal. There is something that is wrong with women. And when I say women, I'm talking about young women.
Mm-hmm.
That sense of rebellion
They don't want to hear it.
is a lot of the reasoning behind the downfall that happens later in life. The fact that some women have people in their lives that try to guide them, right? And tell them the things not to do when it comes to relationships, and they don't listen,
Mm-mm.
it is a hard pill to swallow. Because watch this. If you look at all of these social media pages of women in their 20s, right? It's just like 85 said. They traveling, they brunching,
Yep.
they're toasting, their asses out, their titties is out because their bodies are beautiful.
Yep.
Bodies are off the chain. Faces are gorgeous.
Yep.
They pick up a kid. They continue to do it.
Yep.
They pick up another kid.
Yep.
Not as much. The conversation starts to change a little bit, but they still need the affirmation, so they're still showing a little body.
Yep.
But then the conversations about men start getting aggressive.
Yep.
And then it's just girl this, and girl and fuck niggas, and then
Yep.
it gets to a point they've had enough and they're ready for that real settle down. So now that's when scriptures start popping up.
Yep.
And everything is about Jesus.
That's what I've been
And
saying. Thank you.
it's backwards. It's ass backwards. The thing about it is, the
Yes.
problem with a lot of these women here is that they don't get religious
Until it's too
until
late.
they are not as desirable anymore.
Yep. When they prime out.
And they go to Jesus as a
Mm-hmm.
backup to try to fix everything that they've messed up.
I'm
Yep.
not. I'm not.
And you don't
Yep.
have to. You don't have to, because look at any 20-year-old chick that
Yep.
you know.
You can't tell them nothing.
It ain't no scriptures.
Nope.
It ain't no
Nope.
responsibility.
Nope.
Everything is selfish.
Yep.
It's all the wigs down to it's the inches, and it's the nails inside
Lashes,
the
the
hair.
makeup,
Nails is all of this shit.
the wrestling bodysuits,
Look,
you know what I mean? And
and
they
that
age out. They age
that
out.
is a hard pill to swallow, but that's the
Yep.
shit that the good men around the 30s and things, we get those scripture toting women
Yep.
that used to be bad, right?
Yep.
But when they were bad, they weren't giving us the time of day because they were running around with the dudes before they went to jail.
Yep. Yep.
And
This is what I
so,
was saying. Do you think Sierra was quoting scriptures when she was in 50
Don't
Cent?
feel like
Listen, this is what I'm saying.
that. We not gonna do. She
I
ain't gonna.
used to hate going to my auntie's crib because all of the women over there, they was older with no man. And so anytime I used to come over there, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you change this? Can you do that? Can you do that? And it's like, it clicked for me. I was like, damn, like, it's almost like I see what the value is in us now is we're heavily needed as y'all get older. When y'all too hot to trot, can't nobody tell y'all nothing. Everybody in the DMs, y'all getting invited to the yacht parties and this and that and that and that. But like Rashad said, once y'all have a kid or two, once y'all then had some traumatic experiences with some partners, once y'all done gained some weight, once all of those features start to age out, that's when the church get in there, the Bible scriptures, and what's crazy is a lot of these joints you talk to, they still got the same standards that they had when they was 25. And it's like, well,
What
hold
they
up.
what they going to church?
Yeah, well, I mean, even without the church, a lot of them, I mean, there some in church, some not, but you just see a level of change once they prime out. Because men and women, our primes do go in reverse. It
Yeah.
is. Our prime is when we hitting 40, 45. That's when we making the most money we ever made. We got money in retirement. We got a home or two that we owning. We done built a network of friends or a network of people that we can collaborate with and do business ventures with. Our prime goes up. Whereas a female, yeah, y'all prime is when y'all in y'all 20s and the body is crazy and the options are all there. And you don't realize that as you get older, things change. As you get kids and all of that, things change, man. And it was the dude at my gym was telling me he an older dude, he like 40 something, single, he got bread, drive a G-Wagon, all that, got a nice house. And he was telling me, he was like, man, I got a fake wedding ring that I gotta wear because he said because these joints they come at me so aggressively and get mad when I'm like, yo, but he's saying I don't want to take care of another man kid. I don't see he's saying I don't want to have to bring all that baggage into my life. My life is lit.
Yeah.
So whoever I'm looking for, he's saying I want a woman with no kids and the least amount of sexual partners as possible because once again, she's more likely to fall in love instead of have that mentality of he gotta earn her love.
all right, so pause.
Ooh,
All right.
child.
So I gotta come back to my Rashad phase now. All right.
Come on back to the other side, Rashad. We didn't like you
I
on that other
stepped in, I
side. Come
stepped
on
in the
back.
word for a little
Mama
bit
said
because
you
it
No,
was
was
come to
Hefe.
the
needed.
dark
It was needed.
side. We
I
need you
stepped in.
over here.
Mama
So
said you was Hefe.
so here's the deal. All right. There are more dudes out there that don't fit the bill that you're talking about, though. Every dude out there ain't got one or two houses.
Oh no,
Every
no, that's a
dude out
fact.
there ain't got G wagons and all this other stuff, right? So
But these
there's
are
a
the
larger.
desired guys. Like
So
when
those
you
are
ask
so
women their preferences,
right.
they're
So those
describing
are
these
desired guys.
guys.
So the point that needs to be made is that a woman's her understanding of the potential man that is possibly in her life, it has to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
She can't think that she's going to get the same dude at 40 with 3 kids that she was potentially able to get at 25 with no kids. But the problem, and this is the one thing that Kevin Samuels said that I just had to agree with. I didn't like Kevin's communication, but Kevin
I
was
love it.
honest in the fact when he said, "You women out here are gassing each other up. having you think that every woman out here is going to get the man that she wants.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That
only a
is
few of them.
mathematically impossible because it is more women. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you got people going on Kendra G, these silly ass chicks, these chicks be completely delusional. Everybody
Delusional.
got multiple kids, but they want a man over six figures, and they
Over
want a
6 feet
man that's
tall.
6'3" and all this other shit. And it's just like, bitch, you 5'5" with brown eyes, you pushing 170.
One that's
It's like,
generous.
why are you in? Everybody wants the fairy tale. Now, this is the message that women don't want to to embrace. Once you get past a certain age, you have to stop looking for the fairy tale. No woman
Well,
wants
what is
to
that age?
hear that, huh? Well,
What is that?
it
Don't do
depends.
it.
It depends. No, it depends on you, right? So that age is some women age better than others, right? But when you get to a certain age, when you get to a certain age where your looks have started to decline, your metabolism is slowing down, and you're not amongst the type of desire for the type of fantasy man that you're looking for, you have to understand it's time to go for realism. The
Yep.
problem, the
They look
reason
at
why
that as
women stay
settling
so
though.
single so long is because they spend so long looking for fantasy, as opposed to filtering through the reasonable dudes to find the right dude. They're putting all the reasonable dudes to the side and they're not even looking at them. So the point is, you're not going to get fantasy. But if you would have spent that same three years after 35, so now you're 38, if you would have spent that last 3 years looking through real dudes, you might have found a good one in the real dudes. But y'all wasting the time still trying to get the fantasy dude and trying to force it through because you heard about some chick that got 3 kids and found a millionaire. Oh, she did it. Why can't I do it? Bitch, everybody ain't playing in the NBA either.
Nope.
Well, Martin Luther King said you can have a damn dream, and I ain't mad at them. Let them dream.
Okay.
No, but if you willing to die with that
Oh,
dream,
yeah.
oh, by
Hey.
all
Oh,
means.
watch this. Watch this. What was the reason that Martin died in the first place? Martin died because he realized that it was more to the statement than just you can have a dream. He realized that, oh, you can have the dream, but you have to fix the systemic issues that go along with it. Martin was transitioning from nonviolence, which is why they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
His message was changing.
All
Now
right,
what?
got some new folks here. Well, we started off with one topic, which was is your is your single self your married self, and then we got into why love should love be earned, or why should it be earned for my new folks. And is a Pope 49 said they end up with a PlayStation YN. What's wrong with that? And they come in. Mama said, I'm at the age where single isn't looking too bad. And what up, the life of Kay? So I hope you saw what we were talking about. Joey Cake said, yo, Kendra G is crazy. And Mama said, exactly, Rashad, you got a lot of bum men looking for help.
What? I didn't say that. What is she talking about? See, once again, that's 4 times, Mom. I don't know who you listening to. You ain't
But that
listening to me.
is it is a lot of but it is a lot of bum dudes. That's why
She ain't lying. Right.
the smart thing to do for a woman is to lock in with one during that young and hot phase because that's when your value is the highest. When you think about it, all of these things you want, a man that's making at least because in this economy, yeah, 6 figures, right? A man that's over 6 feet, but only like 3% of the men on the planet are over 6 feet tall. If you looking at men that make that level of money, It's a super small percentage of them, and most of them aren't gonna just be with one woman because they have those
Yeah.
resources and that access. So what happens is you get older and you get out of your prime and you looking for a unicorn. It might only be like 33 of them dudes in each zip code. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a lot of these guys. And it's almost like, damn, you might would you rather be alone? Then like, is your mindset, I'm either gonna get this unicorn or I'm gonna die alone?
Well,
So
I did
watch this.
that said that 1 in 4 people are going to probably be single for the rest of their life. Not sure how true that research is, but I did see that the other
That's
day.
why we need to have arranged marriages in our culture.
No,
Yep.
So
Well, that
Yep. That's what we need.
I
That's
will
what we
say
need.
before,
boundaries. Go ahead.
before my trauma with my husband and all of that drama, there was a big influence. My father influenced everything that revolved around my life. And it was always, I'm already providing this for you. So if he can't match what I'm doing for you, he's not good enough. And that was, it probably is trauma that stuck with me through my younger years because that was always that was always the bottom line. My dad bought my first house, bought my cars, paid my bills, paid for my school. Both my parents are executives, so he drilled that into my head. You can't be with a man that's doing less for you than what I'm already doing for you.
But your
pause,
dad was an
pause.
older, more established man.
That's what
If
that's
you meet a
that's what
dude
I'm
that's
saying.
you
That's
Jesus,
meet
what
a
I
dude
that's
you
promise
what
meet a
makes
dude that's
I
26 years old, he's not going to be able to do everything your
That,
dad is because he's
see,
still growing. He's still on the
exactly
incline.
right.
So to
Exactly.
have that mindset, it's almost setting you up because it's like, what 25, because that's when you really need to be getting serious about marriage and family. It's like 25. Everybody want to make it seem like it's 34. It's 25, and at 25 years old, a man don't ain't established that way. You got to be with him through the growth.
My dad chose my husband, and that
get
that
back to
damn.
that. We
Yeah,
gotta go
I was just gonna say,
about
huh? Well,
arranged
you see it.
marriages. We need to go back to that. Rashad, you were about to say something though. What were you about to say before 1985 said arranged marriages?
Arranged
So
marriages.
what I was gonna say to Tasha is that you got to be careful about that, right? Because women don't know how to do a risk assessment when you're young. They pick the wrong man, not, 7 out of the 10 times. But women have to be willing to take the time to actually see how a man moves. That's why when I told you that you can't fuck a dude in the first 3 months, you have to take the time to sit back and see who he is. When I got with my wife, when she met me, I was staying with my mom. She had her own house. She had she was working on a master's degree. She had a phenomenal job. I was I don't even know where I was working. I was at Citigroup. So I mean, I had a job. I didn't have a career, right? When we met, obviously she was attracted to me, but the thing that, and I'll be honest, she was trying to get rid of me when we first got together. She was trying to get rid of me because I didn't fit all of those boxes that Tasha was talking about, right?
Ah.
But one of the things that I had to tell her is that I am really here just because of the fact that my plan has not evolved to the next level of progression. I was helping my mom do stuff, right? I was paying her bills and all of these other things. So I was focused on taking care of my mom, but on the outside looking in, it just looked like I wasn't trying to do anything. But that wasn't the case. The one thing that I had to remind my wife, the person that I am today is not the man that I'm going to be tomorrow. When she met me, I had an 800 credit score. When she met me, I had an 800 credit score. I was 25. I had an 800 credit score. I had a job with no bills other than what I was paying my mom. I had stacks of cash just sitting in the bank. And all of this stuff that would have never come out had she not stayed around. And so the point that I'm making is that sometimes women are just so focused on what they see as opposed to what they learn. How people present themselves when you first meet them, it's the lasting impression, but it's not the final impression. And so to your point, Tasha, your dad said, if you can't do this, if you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do it, fine. But to 85's point, at 26, he ain't gonna be able to do all that. But you see, is he in school? You see, has he ever been arrested? You see, does he have a stable job history? You see what his potential is. And then that's the type of dude that you say, I want to build with that man. The problem is that a lot of y'all women try to build with these dudes that ain't got no potential.
They don't have no potential.
Yes. So you got to do a risk assessment. And many of y'all aren't good at that.